depending how far we want to open the can of worms of like early specialization in athletics, like we're seeing kids that are 14 and their only sport is volleyball or basketball or hockey, and that's all that they do. Do you see that now at this level at the university?
Well, even along that line, like at the university level, one of my favorite things to ask athletes is like, hey, did you play any other sports growing up? And 90% of volleyball players have played basketball, and 90% of basketball players have played volleyball because they're tall and they can jump, and that's just the way that works. But a lot of our athletes have played other sports going through high school, because once you get to, especially this level, like at U Sports, they are, not that they're, you know, the best athletes in the world, but they are very good. And a lot of them are just genetically, not necessarily genetic freaks, but they are genetically gifted in sports. So when they're going through, you know, middle school, high school, all those things, like coaches are like, hey, you should play on this team and play on this team and all these things, because they were fast, they could jump, and they were strong, which, as I mentioned earlier, is kind of like the basis of athletic performance. So having that ability allows them to play multiple sports. The thing that I do find is there are a few athletes who have only played one sport, and you can usually pick them out pretty quickly. Actually, for example, when I was at Coastal, I was training a group of hockey players, and a couple of them had played, you know, we're playing football and lacrosse and I think basketball, like just pretty much everything. And then some of the other kids just played hockey, and they were, probably 14, 15 in that age. And once again, this is just a one case study kind of thing, so you can't really apply to everything, but you could tell who was the athlete and who was the hockey player. Like when we squatted, when we sprinted, when we did these things, it was like, okay, you are the one that has played all these things. And nothing to do with strength, nothing to do with like drive or intensity or motivation, but it was just purely like movement competency. It's like, oh, I can tell you've literally just like skated and haven't done anything, whereas this other guy has like sprinted and thrown baseballs and all those things. So to me, it's about an overall athletic profile you want to build for your athletes. And so that's actually something we're trying to do here with our warm-ups, is like we get everybody to, you know, like do simple athletic movements like jog, back pedal, karaoke, side shuffle, all those things. And like even hockey players, like they don't run, but I can't obviously get them to skate for a warm-up. But getting them outside of what they normally do is just good for the body. It's good for brain, motor control, all those things. So as far as early specialization, we definitely see that here, but I would say a large percentage of our athletes, especially the ones that are very high achieving, have played some other sport, and that just helps build their overall athletic profile.